Vote Sports on Vote FM 104.3, and it's been an amazing time in the Euros. But yesterday, something beautiful came up now. The English Premier League is back. I know you say it's not back, but it is back because in August, the 16th of August, the first game will kick off in the English Premier League. We're going to be running through that the whole fixtures in the English Premier League on the opening weekend. We have some very tight and amazing games. We're going to be testing those who just came from relegation and also those who might have bought some players and see what they can do in this coming season. But before we get there, we're going to begin from the Euros. The Euros is what is going on at the moment. And we're going to be being greeted by the guys this morning. Good morning, John.
Good morning.
All right, good morning, Godwin.
Yeah, good morning, guys.
And good morning, Nonso.
Oh, good morning.
All right, before we begin, today's a very good day for Godwin. Today's Godwin's birthday, and we're going to be saying happy birthday to Godwin right here in the studio. Come on, guys, say happy birthday to Godwin.
Happy birthday
to you. Happy birthday to you.
Yes. God is 1 year older today. He's going to celebrating that one. But I think we're going to celebrate in the show right now and see what he has to say about the games that took place yesterday. The team that have been picked for the win of the Euros started their game now with a 2-1 win over Czech Republic. We're going to be talking about that as they said that. But Turkey took the headlines yesterday. They said they call him the new Messi, the young man who plays for Real Madrid, Arda Güler, who it's called maybe I think the goal of the season so far. It was raining, it was drenching, but man, that control from that left foot was amazing yesterday. Okay, Turkey took on Georgia, and that game was amazing because I think, like I would say that the scoreline did not reflect the game because it was tightly contested, but Turkey at the end just experience, and that goal from Güler separated the two sides, and the final goal, which we know 97 minutes, everybody was going for a equalizer. The goalkeeper was not around, and we saw the man run from his own 18-yard box and slotted the ball into the back of the net. Turkey are looking good. You know, they have some very, very beautiful qualifiers now. Godwin, Arda Güler, he looks like he's the man of the moment. Young lad now is ready to take on the world.
He's ready to take up the world because if you look at this season, he didn't really play much for Real Madrid because they have a lot of stars. But he has potential. When we saw him play in his hometown before he moved to Real Madrid, he was playing well. But Real Madrid is a big club. He didn't just
so he's 19 or 20. So but don't forget, every single time Arda Güler came on for Real Madrid, he almost scored. He scored 6 goals.
He's a good player.
Exactly.
He's a good player, but he's still young. He has to learn his trade gradually. They don't need to put him straight up the Real Madrid lineup. But in Turkey, they don't really have much players, so he has to start. And if you look at him, the way he controls the ball, he reminds me of Musiala for Germany.
Yeah,
sure. He moves the ball, he moves well, he passes well, he shoots well. Look at that goal, man. Just watch that goal. That was a lovely goal.
Godwin, you know, Vicente Montella, nice young coach now, coaching that very young team now for Turkey. You know, with really no much experience. Just you have Akan Çalhanoğlu, who's the captain of that side who plays for AC Milan, or Inter Milan. Both of them play for Inter Milan right now. Then you have Kenan Yildiz. You don't have then Okan Koku. Then you now have Arda Güler. Yes, from the bench you have some players who are playing for England, like Serge to the number 9 who scored little or no goals for Everton. But now they look like they know what to do. They played a very, very, very attacking game, but the Akan Çalhanoğlu controlled that midfield yesterday, and we saw the results for Turkey.
Well, you see, Turkey is just a side that you always underrate them because you don't go there and say, let me mention 10 players. You don't go there and say, let me mention 15 top players. They're always playing for middle table teams, and you see them excel well in those middle table teams, except for Çalhanoğlu and maybe Arda Güler, who perhaps you saw. I think the game against Villarreal.
Yes.
Real Madrid. The media was saying he controlled. Even when you see the game, you say he controlled the ball like he was an experienced player. He was maybe the age mate of Modric in the skin of a 17-year-old. Very good footballer. Knows how to position himself. Knows how to get the pass. When he asks for the pass, like he's been on the ball for several years, and that's the player you should look out for the future. These are players that you can't take away their glory. They are just there to shine at the moment and for the future. Turkey, for me, set up well. They did good football. They played good football. They set up well, built from the back, and went on to try to score a goal. Georgia, on the other hand, were trying to just cause a scare. At the first half, I was in a 1-1 draw, and I was like, no, this is not supposed to be so. Turkey should be running away with these goals.
But for me, I think for Georgia did not really do badly. It's just an experience that took that. Don't forget that 3-1 is just an overhyped scoreline because the last goal was when everybody was going to try to score, and the goalkeeper was already out, and you saw that header out, and they moved on. Now, you know, the only player you can recognize in the side for no, this is their name, Georgia.
Georgia.
Is that name is very long. That guy, Kifia Krasvitelia.
From Napoli.
That guy
Yeah,
that pitched the player of the season up against Osimhen
last
2 seasons
season.
ago. So he was the main man for that side now, and he did very well. He gave their assist for their opening goal. But apart from that, now Willie Sagnon, Willie Sagnon played for Real Madrid. In those days now, he's the captain, is the coach for that side now. They did all they could do, but I think the Turkish side was still far better than them, Joe.
Yeah, I love the way the Turkish side went about their business. If you look at the way Georgia was set up almost as if they were coming into this match trying to defend and then get in on the break. It hasn't worked out for them in the sense that they've gone on and lost that game 3-1. And then just looking at the way they set up with 3 center halves and then 5 midfielders up front, and then you have just Kvicha, who is just up there in providing the goal threat for them. I think they should have had a bit more free-flowing formation that allows the team to play towards their strengths and giving Vicha all the service he needs to be able to create something for them.
You don't have to blame them. They're a small nation. They're about 2-3 billion.
Yeah, but you
population.
have at least when you're a small nation, you have big characters within the side. You should
Just
create at least.
Just one that just
Just
You
one-
have
that's
countries
one-
that
that's
don't
one-
even have
that's
one-
anyone at all.
superstar.
You have one at least.
Because
Maximize
How
him.
many times have you seen Georgia in Euros before?
No, the thing is that these are first Euros now, so you won't blame them. I
Blame
think
them.
for me, they're just going to come and
It's
have
a
the
learning
experience. What they can only do, because that team is too big now. You have Portugal now, you have Czech Republic, you have Georgia. Czech Republic will try to see how they can overturn that stuff because they've lost now. Now in that group right now, we're going to talk about Portugal's game next. But now Turkey is sitting very pretty on top of the table, and you have Portugal in second. Czech Republic and Georgia are last because they've lost. But Georgia has considered 2 goals. So we're going to see. Don't forget in this Euros, they're going to be picking the best third place team to make up the other side. So everybody's going to fight to make sure they are, they do what they can do best. Now Portugal. Everyone thought, they're going to have a very beautiful ride against Czech Republic. Like we said now, Czech Republic like Albania, no much stars, but you have a few of them who play for West Ham. And yesterday, the man who Nonso rejected, Sofian Kufa, for me, was one of the best players on the pitch against Portugal. And he said he's going to make up the numbers. But yesterday, Portugal had a scare. Don't forget the first goal Portugal scored to equalize that match was just an own goal. Even for that own goal, I don't know what Portugal have done. Yeah. Ronaldo was marked out of the game. Every single Bernardo Silva, they were marked out of the game. And this boy had to start diving. The boy from Inter Milan, AC Milan, what's his name?
Rafael
Leao started diving and he got a yellow card. So that game we saw a full-fledged, tight Portugal squad come onto the pitch with everybody we thought would start yesterday. Exactly the team we called yesterday started that game. But it looked like Czech Republic had something in mind, and that game was tightly contested. It took Portugal very, very, very close, 92nd minute, after a brave header from Cristiano Ronaldo and from Nuno Mendes. He had to cross it back again, and that guy had to tap in. And the son, let me call his name now. I don't know if you remember Sergio Conceição, that played for Portugal in 2004 and 2006. This is his son. The father has played for Portugal. His son has scored the winning goal in the opening game in the Euros now. Amazing game yesterday, tightly contested. But I think I will give kudos. If I talk about Portugal, I'm going to give great kudos now, Godwin, to Czech Republic.
Yes, you have to. When I saw that game, and I don't think that Portugal played anything fantastic in that game. Right. They were just there. Do you understand? And I have a problem with the way they set up their team.
Yes.
But I have a problem with their coach. Before I talk about Czech, I have a problem.
You said yesterday. Okay, go ahead.
I have a problem with Martinez. I don't know how you set up your team this way. Whenever I see playing 3 man at the back, I'm thinking of you are looking to defend and play on the counter. This is how you wasted a whole generation of Belgium team. The same formation. Then he's bringing the same formation to Portugal. So, but if you look at Czech was compact. They played their football. Do you understand? They played very well, and I like the way they played. They scored the first goal, and I was hoping that they will win, but I was hoping they win that game because I like small teams winning.
You don't take that personal.
No. I like small teams winning in this kind of game.
Story.
Yes, it's always sweet to hear it, but unfortunately for them, Portugal scored 2 goals. Even one of the goals was own goal. They didn't play. I don't even think that Portugal can go all the way based on how they played this game.
Right?
Yes, based on how they played this game.
Also, look at that midfield now. I think we have to give kudos, like you said, now to Thomas Tuchel and Vladimir Kufa. Patrick Schick was there causing trouble in the front of the pitch, but they really closed him up. Don't forget, yesterday we didn't trust Pepe, but Pepe for me was one of the best defenders on the pitch yesterday.
the oldest player in all of Euros.
Yes.
And you ask yourself, why is he there? And I said this before, and I'm saying it again. There is nobody to replace him. That's why they had to play 3-man in the bench to see if they could test.
Yeah, somebody.
Where there's nobody.
Who?
Call the person's name.
Inacio
from Porto that they want to buy to Man United. He's not good enough. He's not good enough.
No.
Now we have Nuno Mendes, who is also in the team, not still good enough. That's why they had to put Pepe there first. It's just like playing a Silva where you have a this guy for Chelsea, Fofana. You have a Bashile, and you have a disaster. And you have these 4 defenders, and you still want to play.
Chelsea come after you. Okay, yeah, go ahead.
You still want to play a Thiago Silva because you know you're not sure of these other players.
Yes.
It's the same thing with Portugal right now. They're not sure of the other 2 players.
No, so.
Let me be.
They're
not even sure.
No, so.
See,
this is
for the
information
first
that
time
he
now,
plays.
I will say this, and John will crucify me now. Let me say it. They are not even sure of the man that went to Man City that is shining for Man City.
How can you
Ruben
say
Diaz.
that? How
Okay.
can you say they are not even sure of Ruben Diaz putting a stellar performance for these guys?
Yes, they had to make one block, so they would have lost that match. Yes.
Sure, now look at that. You can't say that about Ruben Diaz. You can say that maybe about the Inacio guy, maybe also about the Mendes guy, but you can't say that about Ruben and Diaz. You can't say that. For me, I think Pepe has earned his stripes to be in that starting lineup. He put in a yeoman performance in that game, and you can see why they need to have him around. Okay, this is the same thing we said about Germany bringing back Toni Kroos and bringing back some of this leadership.
Yes.
They have leadership quality. They can come up big for you, and Pepe did. Okay, and obviously you saw that game. They had to bring in some of these young blood to come in and play that game. So I think Pepe has acquitted himself. If you look at that game, I think the biggest problem they had was going up forward. We had lots of crosses into the 18. We had lots of attempts. Bernardo Silva was basically overworking himself, trying to muster and push everything to drive that game. You look at the forward line. Who do you have to bury the goals up there? Look at chances created.
What do you mean by who do you have to bury the goals?
Look at
There was no
chances
service
created.
yesterday. Don't forget, the only time Ronaldo made a very good run was one of the passes of the match where Bernardo Silva made that pass, but the goalkeeper good.
He also got that free kick too. That was saved.
Let me correct John there now. Bruno was also in the game, getting passes, sending passes forward, and Rafael was missing. Now he wasn't targeting.
Yes,
he wasn't targeting
Ronaldo,
Ronaldo.
exactly.
He was targeting Rafael to score, and there was a one cut as in make the run. Use your left foot and stretch first. Then maybe you hit the pass. But Rafael ran late, went in late, then used his right foot, and that was a problem for him. He missed the contact.
If this game had ended without that own goal, it would be a draw, and that's the same thing we'll be talking.
If
the game had ended without that own goal, it would have been a
would they have
draw.
the drive to make that last goal? No, they wanted to win.
But that's
All these things is because of the setup.
This man has a
The
bit
setup.
of
See,
and
he's not the
coach
setup.
alone.
You
That's
look
why
at
they do the
look at
coach.
Look
you
at
should
the
be
setup. The setup is hindering Portugal from attacking. Look at it.
See, I would say it doesn't stop Portugal from attacking. You see the fullbacks; they are always. Joao Cancelo is playing from the left, which is not normal for anybody to say he should play from the right. Dalot, the same thing. So they are pushed up front. I think in this position now, you say one of the defenders will have to come
The
and
truth
play
is, the
defensive
coach
midfield.
wanted to get all his biggest stars on the pitch. Let me just tell you why. Because you, like you said, now you have Ruben Diaz, Pepe, Nuno Mendes. You can't put Nuno Mendes, who almost got to the Champions League final, on the bench. And I don't even see any other better left-footed player in Portugal side. Now, in the midfield, you had Diego Dalot, who actually at the end of the game season played very well for Manchester United. Now you have Vitinha, fantastic player. I love that boy. You know, then you have Bruno Fernandes, you have Joao Cancelo, Manchester City, and Barcelona. Who will bench? Then you have up front Bernardo Silva, Ronaldo, and Rafael. These guys did very well last season. My problem now is this: looking at that team, there was something missing in the middle. I don't think you can play a Vitinha and play a Bruno Fernandes together. These are attacking players. Paulina was sitting on the bench as somebody that lost his father because he was waiting for burial. He was not happy. So I think you need a solid player on that midfield to hold down the ball. Then you can have these guys, Vitinha, what are you calling them? Bruno Fernandes running after. So I mean, that means if that happens, one person has to drop.
That's changed.
That one has to drop.
Look at what people did not see during the game. This is the formation on paper.
Yes.
On the pitch is different. We always talk about the inverting fullbacks. Yeah. Now, Cancelo can come and play defensive midfielder. You know that. Pepe can go and play defensive midfield while there are two centre backs.
But that also opens up the flanks. That's what I'm saying.
In club football, when the defender comes into the midfield, there's always two people at the back.
Hold on, no. So I get your point. Now I want to stay with John on this one. see the problem with the midfield, right? Okay, apart from Bruno Fernandes and Vitinha, who is creating, you have two other players who are defenders who are going to be running. So there's a creative spark missing. Then there's a authority player, and I think he's going to play this. I think either Dalo or Cancelo we have to drop to the bench. So you play a 4-man defense, play 4-2-3-1. You're going to have a very fluid
that's the best formation.
One thing we didn't see is there are two strikers up front though. All of us are calling Bernardo in the front.
No, he should drop.
There are two players up front.
He has to drop.
Ronaldo and Rafael.
Yes.
The rest of the other players in front are midfielders. Bernardo will join the midfield to create chances. And you saw that yesterday. They joined the midfield to create chances. While they were sending crosses. They sent about 30 crosses in or 35 crosses in.
And how many? What was the outcome for that? That's what I'm talking about.
See what I think should happen for Portugal, right? You play Diego Dalo at right back, Mendes, Pepe, and Nuno Mendes. That's 4. They play Vitinha and Paulinho to hold, which don't forget Vitinha can still go forward. You're 3 in front, play Bruno Fernandes, Bernardo Silva, Rafael Leao, and Ronaldo up front. You're going to have a very potent strike force.
This formation hurt Fernandes very well.
Yes.
Because he needed to defend and attack at the same time. So he limited him very well in this game. He couldn't create much in this game. So they have to get the ball straight to the wings. That's why you are saying that they keep serving balls to the wings. Because what you want him to do, he has to, if he was playing as an attacking midfielder, he will be close to the box. When he will problems to the opposition.
You will also have the opportunity to get in on the goals.
Defend and play the ball. He cannot play to Ronaldo.
Give kudos to Czech Republic. Also, I know we're going to be talking about Portugal. Yes, big team, likely winners of the tournament. But Czech Republic knew what they came to do yesterday. If not for that own goal, I don't think Portugal would have won the game. But that ended as a draw. So that midfield and it was marshaled well by the captain. It was every single way. I think I'll give it to the 2 English players, Thomas Tuchel and Vladimir Kufa. These guys brought in experience.
Kufa out of that list.
Not possible.
You can't take Kufa out of that. You can't take him off that.
Ronaldo missed. He was
everybody can make mistake. Come on now.
This is the mistake he's always making.
He's a defender. What do you want him to do?
It's a problem for me because it's a mistake he's always making. You want to make tackles, make it.
So doesn't like that guy. That's all. Leave that team. You don't like Kufa. Even play for your team, West Ham. You don't like him.
I like him, but he makes silly errors.
Everybody makes errors.
Not when.
That's like Aaron Ramsey. I'm calling Aaron Ramsey.
Not in big games. Kufa is a good player, no doubt about that. But in big games, he's not settled. His mind is not in one place, and he makes errors that could cost the game.
Somebody's not talking about yesterday after the changes. I think after Portugal made those changes yesterday, the game changed. Because when he brought in Pedro Neto, he brought in Gonzalo Ignacio, and he brought in that other young lad, and Nelson Semedo. Those 3 changes switched that game. Don't forget, the winning goal came from a direct attack from what's his name, Pedro Neto. No, I like Pedro Neto. He's a player that doesn't look back. Once he holds that ball, even if he's facing 4 defenders, how should I pass all of them and cross the ball? And we saw that very beautiful pass yesterday. He trapped that ball and went direct into the 18-yard box and made that cross. Yes, the defender made an error, trying to block with his knee, and the game rebounded, and we saw that winning goal. I think now, after seeing how the first game went, right, with the coach, your coach now, will he have the strong heart to make some changes? For me, Leao is doing like a big boy. You know,
he's always doing like a big boy.
Even he's doing like Ibrahimovic.
He walks.
Exactly. He was
He doesn't track back.
So Pedro Neto, for me, just as an injury prone, that guy, if you put him in that left flank, you will see an explosive Portugal side in the next match.
I think he needs to change, but I've seen this coach for the last 3 tournaments with Belgium. He sticks with this, his 3-4-2 or 3 whatever he plays. He will not change. And now he won this game, so you will think that what he's doing is working.
Right, okay.
So I don't think he's going to change, but I think he should change. The best formation for Portugal is playing 4 at the back and playing 3 and 3 up front.
Sure.
But I don't think he will change. But we are not even talking about the second goal. I even think this second goal they scored, Semedo made an error. That tackle should be a free kick. The
referee didn't give that. Yes, I agree.
So even if they probably check this whole game very well, probably Portugal won. But first goal was own goal. Yeah. The second goal was a free kick. They should have lost this game. So I think this coach should make changes.
Okay, and if you look at Godwin, you are trying to say something. I want you to give me basically what you think about the Portuguese side, and what do you think going forward will happen to them?
I don't think that they are going to win these Euros.
They don't look like. For me, they need to make some changes. They need to make some changes. One fundamental changes.
That's tournament.
Yes, sack the man in the middle of the tournament. How do you sack him in the middle of the tournament?
That
doesn't mean that's standard practice.
They won the.
Doesn't mean standard practice. It can only happen in Africa.
Yes.
How can you sack a coach in the middle of tournament?
For quarterfinal, he's that
no,
coach.
no,
You
no,
come
no,
on.
no.
See, for me, I think Rafael is just in his head. He's way too much in his head. Drop him. There's a Diego Jota who could play from the left.
Exactly. You have Neto.
Neto can play from the right. He's not really good on the left. He's always coming in from the right. You have Diego Jota who plays for Liverpool and can play from the left
I can score.
and can score goals.
Steady.
You saw the one. If not, he scored a goal yesterday. They have to rule it out for offside
Yeah.
because Ronaldo was off when he used the head to give him that assist.
But that cross was sweet.
Sure.
Oh, it's okay. All right, guys. Don't forget we have guys on YouTube now. I want to welcome everyone on YouTube. Don't forget to also follow us on Vote Sports on YouTube. Subscribe, follow, and always watch us live on the show. And Solomon Sifo, good morning. Emmanuel Okitikpi, one of our star listeners, also good morning sports crew. And Gordon, they're asking you to be celebration after the show, so you have to prepare where we are going for your birthday celebration. All right. Joseph Odichi, Mark, good morning and welcome to the show. Also, okay, some of them are giving us their ideas now. Viral City also, so don't forget to send me invitation card. God, everybody's talking to you today. All right. Iman says too many stars in Portugal. The coach played names and they have a proper formation. Wow. Okay, Chizoba Opara is saying that Portugal team really impressed me in yesterday's match. I don't know if you watched the match, but it's okay. It's a good team. It's a good one for them. Yeah, getting that win here, sorry, it's a good one for them. And Amici Aaron is a good morning, guys. Nice analysis and happy birthday to Mr. Godwin. All right, guys, Godwin, your birthday is taking the shine of the show on YouTube. It's an amazing one. We'll have to celebrate our own. Okay, so Portugal looks good already. Whether they like it or not, they've gotten their first win and they are already marching on 3 points for them. We'll see who finishes up in that. That was the last game yesterday for the first group matches of all the Euros. Now we're going back to the beginning also today, and we're going to be having the host Germany. We'll be hosting Hungary. We're going to have Croatia trying to win after being bamboozled by Spain. They're going to be playing Albania today, and Scotland, who were destroyed by Germany, also will be playing today against Switzerland. Now we're going to be looking at those games quickly before we go into something else in the world of sport. All right, let's begin with Croatia. Now, Croatia, they didn't do very well in their last game against Spain, and they lost woefully. I didn't like it. That's why you saw at the end of the game now, the Madrid players had to comfort Luka Modric, tell him, don't worry, you're getting old, we need to beat you so much. I was so the picture the side and they were discussing about the game. I think Modric did really play well. Now, Croatia has an opportunity now because to win against Albania. Yes, Albania is a small country, small side. You might not have all the names, but I think now, John, Croatia has to win this to remain in this tournament.
Yeah, one of the talking points from that game that we spoke about in one of our podcast show was that you can't have three of the same type of player in that midfield, and the midfield is not nimble. I think somebody in that midfield three has to go. It's either Brozovic that should be benched for a younger, more faster, fleet-footed midfielder to come in to be able to open up the game for them, because against the Spanish side that have the likes of Lamine Yamal, you talk about all these other fast players. You have Pedri there, you have Gavi there, you have some other players in that side. How do you keep up with the pace? But then coming into this match now against Albania, something has to give. They have to move that midfield around and bring in fresh, let me say, young blood now to be able to drive their game faster. They need to be able to exercise the authority they have in the center, but then exploit the opportunities coming up in the wing and hopefully look to see if they can get some points on the board, because if they lose this match, if they suffer a draw, they put themselves in a bad situation going into the later stages of the competition.
Yeah, Croatia is last. Croatia is last on the left. Don't forget they considered 4 goals or so, and now they are last. So they are playing. They start against fourth. Don't forget they have the Italians in that side too, who have gotten their 3 points now. So Spain, Italy will be a very tough one. Somebody might drop points. So this is the only situation where I think now Croatia have to take a win, then see what they can do against Italy in their last game, because I think Spain will have to go and cruise over Albania. So it's a very nice one. It's a must-win game now for Croatia also.
Well, you see the Croatian side. I said this. You can't have Brozovic you can't have Modric and Kovacic playing together. They are two the same type of players. They are always settling in the midfield. One is just a hustler, the other one is just old and knows how to see a pass. But Brozovic, you need a defensive midfielder, and Brozovic is just there to seal that midfield position. But talking about playing against an Albanian side who you barely see run around sometimes, you say, okay, fine, the formation they used against Spain wasn't working against Spain because Spain had the experience on the ball, Spain had the players, fleet-footed, fast players on the ball. But now it could work against Albania. I think if they should stick with that formation and perhaps send more passes forward, send more passes forward, it will be better.
Nobody's talking about this Albanian team.
But you talk about one player that is not starting game, Pasalic.
Yeah.
He should be starting today. I don't see
Don't
why.
forget to Croatia, they've lost one player now, Nikola Vlasic.
He's going home on injury.
now,
Yes.
so he's not going to play now. And that guy was played very well for his side now. So losing one of the top players in that team now is going to give them an issue. Now, John is talking about, nobody's talking about Albania. So tell us about Albania.
You see, they have this Bojan as their striker.
Armando Broja, yes.
You can cause problems for any team. See, I understand that they are a small club.
Small team.
A small team, they are a small country. But you can't just rule them out. Croatia is not really playing as we expected them to play. So they could surprise us and probably get a draw or a win. But you cannot just rule them out 100% because Spain trashed them. Just them because Italy, look at their last game against Italy. They just lost 2-1. Do you understand? So
I think smaller teams this season,
they played well.
Getting better.
It was almost like a 50-50 game.
You now mentioned Armando Broja, who has been sent on 4 loan spells so far. He's not made the first team play in his club. Talking of Chelsea now, he's not made his first team. He's still being sent on loan, and if he comes back, they are looking to send him on another loan.
Or sell him off.
Basically. And you're telling me he's a goal threat. If he's a goal threat, they should be at some point willing to keep him at Chelsea.
It doesn't matter for
It doesn't matter.
They are only hope
You
that they have.
understand? Okay, look at this the Turkish boy we are talking about now. He doesn't play for Real Madrid, but he plays for his country. And he started for his country. And he's scoring goals for his country.
Okay, guys, we're going to be back shortly. Now, we'll come back. We're going to talk about now Germany, the host, and we're going to talk about Scotland hosting Switzerland, because now if Scotland does not win this game, they are almost out of the tournament. Then we'll come back to the English Premier League fixtures that has been announced.
Stay plugged into the flow. Follow Volt FM on Facebook at Volt 1043 FM. Let's vibe together.
Volt 104.3 FM.
We're going to be going to Scotland, hosting Switzerland. Now, Scotland didn't play well in their first game, and they are hoping now to do well against Switzerland. Switzerland, they are not a big name side in Europe, but these guys have an amazing team that they look to know what they are doing. So far, no real concerns for Scotland. Steve Clark is saying they have to do it or go home. And doing it against Switzerland side, I don't think it's going to be very possible. Now, let's talk about Scotland now, Godwin. This side, they are trying to be the younger brothers or younger friends to England. Trying to make sure they push. The Scottish League is also growing. But now, in major tournaments, Scotland have not done very well. And going up against the second place team, now Switzerland, after conceding 4 goals against Germany, 5 goals, against Germany, how do you think Scotland will pan out against?
And don't forget it, they are going home. Straight up. They are going home. Look at this team. This team is not really, they don't gel together. Sure. I don't know why everybody plays on their own. Or probably because they are thinking they are a small country. They need to come out from that mentality. They need to see them because they have good players. They have players playing for Premier League, Aston Villa, Arsenal, and Liverpool. But they need to come out from this small club mentality where they need to defend and attack. They need to actually come and attack Switzerland for them to get a win. If they play set up the way they set up against Germany, trying to defend, and they will lose the game. But I don't think they are going to qualify from this group. Switzerland is a very strong team. Germany is obviously strong. So I don't even see them qualifying, but they need to take their chances. They need to fight.
For me, if you look at the formation and the way they set up in their game against Germany, they had 2 of the attacking threats playing in the defensive formation, in defensive positions, which wasn't nice to see. And if you look at the way they are setting up for today, they are looking to push those guys, especially Scott McTominay, into the attack, and then keeping Billy Gilmore in the center of the box of the midfield there. I think the way they set up, they should just switch this formation now from, rather than playing with a back 3 to playing with a back 4, and then have these guys in the position where you can maximize them.
You know what I think? I think you should move Robertson as a winger and put Tierney as left back.
You play both of them in the first game.
No, both of them. One played as a centre half, the other one played as a wing back. Yeah. I think you should change the formation, move Robertson as a proper winger. Then Tierney can play.
Tierney
as a-
can play
as a-
as
But why are
a
you people hailing them? You are saying that they are going. They are still trying to encourage them to play Tierney and play.
Because-
See, we like an underdog story.
Okay.
Now, but I would agree with them moving players around. This coach, I think it's always been a problem scouting. The scouting team have always done a difficult job so far. You saw the World Cup qualifiers where they had to play Bill Gilmore and Scott McTominay as centre backs. And you ask yourself, what's the coach thinking? He's been there for like 4 years now, but he's always making errors in terms of playing players in the position they play for their clubs. Now, you want to experiment with tactics, you want to give them a different set of assignments, but at least try and give them that courtesy of playing where their strengths can at least be at some moment. But if you look at the Scottish side now, let me say this for a fact. They have all the players playing in the Premier League.
Yes.
They have all, except for 3 of them, maybe the likes of
Grant Hanley and Jack Hendry.
Jack Hendry and
the goalkeeper.
Yes, and the goalkeeper. That's Christie plays for Bournemouth. Sherlock plays.
Newmore plays for England. Robertson, Tierney, McTominay, Manchester United, McGinn, Aston Villa
Even
captain.
Che Adams.
Che Adams play for
Che Adams,
Southampton.
yeah.
These guys are only English players playing for Scotland. But I looking at the side now for Switzerland. I think the experience is just too much. Let me call some of these players for Switzerland for you to understand. You have Manuel Akanji, Manchester City. You have Febansha, Newcastle United. Ricardo Regres playing for Wolfsburg. I think now he's still playing in Germany. He has not left there. Granit Xhaka, who just won the German Bundesliga, is there. Then you have Marcel Sabitzer, who's also played for Borussia Dortmund, I think, who played for Manchester United before. Now you also have Ruben Vargas and Brilliant Mbolo. These guys are top quality players. And the bench, there's one guy called Shaqiri. I don't know if you know him. I already call him Shaqiri. There's Jedran Shaqiri. He's on the bench for. So I think, like you said, Godwin, they are ready to go over. I don't see Scotland doing one over Switzerland. But no, so you seem to want to say something otherwise. Do you think Scotland has what it takes?
They have. They do have, because you see, everybody's talking about the Switzerland side. They are good in the ball. They are good on the ball. I'm just scared of one player on the Switzerland side, or perhaps 2. The Xhaka and Brie. Brie knows how to score goals.
Yes.
No doubt about that. You put him in the 97 minutes, when the game remains 1 minute, he will score goal for you. Now, waiting Brie they do. So, no doubt about that. Brie knows how to score. Xhaka knows how to create chances. But a team that can defend and also go on a counter cannot be opened by Switzerland. That's one thing I've noticed. They have this difficulty breaking low block defending teams, and that's where Scotland has the edge over them.
Okay, now we're looking at this game. I think for me, Scotland is either a win or go home situation for them. Switzerland, they don't need to win. If they get a draw, they have 4 points and they might be second on that team. So, because we're just looking for who will qualify alongside Germany, but we can't still tell because the Germans, the host of the tournament, will be hosting Hungary tonight, I think 8 p.m. Nigerian time, and we will know what can happen. Germany had a 5-star performance in the first game, scoring 5 goals against Scotland, but they're going to be playing against the Hungarians, who also lost to Switzerland. Now, for a team to lose against Switzerland to coming up against Germany with the likes of all the players in that side, the master himself is there, Toni Kroos, you have Gundogan is there, Sane, who's done very well this season also. Germany is filled with talent. I don't know why nobody is saying they are likely winners of this tournament, because maybe because they've not really done well in the past competitions.
Yes,
but now, John, looking at this game now, Germany just needs to win tonight and now be assured of moving into the next round, maybe getting one more draw or one more win to make it 9 points overall in this tournament. Now, do you think Germany will walk over Hungary tonight?
Yeah, let's not forget they also have a certain Jamal Musiala in the side too, who is a phenomenal talent. I think this game we can call it a win for Germany. Just looking at the plethora of stars they have in their side, I don't think Hungary will prove to be any opposition enough for them. Who do they have in their side? Talking about players in this competition right now, I feel Germany have what it takes to get a win and then look forward to progressing into the later stages of the competition. With due respect, if you look at their stats against what's their name now, Scotland, they put up a lot of, they held the ball up, they had the most chances created, they buried a ton of those chances, gave themselves a good goal difference cushion. If you look about maybe any other team coming to rival them for that top spot, they have a good cushion in that respect, and they are going into this game on a high. I said it prior to this competition that Germany may not have had a good record going into this competition, but when the back is against the wall, that's when you see the best out of the German machine.
Germans are a very
And
good
they're
tournament side. I don't know how to explain that. But now for me, and also looking at the German side, beautiful game, beautiful players from back to front. But now they seem to be having a dilemma in front. Now you have a full crew who plays for Borussia Dortmund. Is there, but the coach still prefers to start Kai Havertz up front. And the last game you saw an assist from him and scored a penalty. So you cannot fault the coach for starting Kai Havertz. Now the coach is saying now that he's putting Hungary and Scotland on the same level. So the way they played and went all out against Scotland, they have to go all out against Hungary today.
Yeah, it's true what he said, because you see the Hungarian side always sitting back. They don't have attackers. I'm saying if you want to play against a big team, it's 11 against 11. Come out and play. You score. You concede goals. You concede goals. You score goals. You score goals. But if you're trying to sit back, protect your back line, you concede more goals than you
That's what
expected
happened
to
to
do.
Scotland
And that's
in
what
the
happened to
last
Scotland.
match.
They're always sitting back, defending and waiting for a counter attack. The Germans won't give you that chance of counter.
Yeah.
Because they have faster players than you do. They have fast
Sure.
defenders as well. So once you hit the ball on the break, the defenders are also chasing after you. The wingers that are in front are chasing after you because they know they have the pace to burn. So for the German side today, I'm just looking at them walking over.
You know, if I'm a coach for a smaller country or even a club, I'll set up my team to attack. If I lose, I lose. Because I don't
You
think
talk about the coach. You
Yes.
do that.
It doesn't make sense,
Attack, and every match you concede 5-5-5. But those
I'm
No,
talking about
No, look at.
What
at-
I'm
you know,
saying
no,
is,
look at- there's
come
this-
out to get the win. Come out,
You
put
don't
your
have
best
anything
foot
to lose.
forward, and then close out and manage the game.
Now,
That's
look at-
that's,
this is
that's
what
what
you get
England
work.
did too.
This
Usually the coach will
is-
sack after 5 games. Don't you
This
concede
is what-
15 goals in 5 games. You go.
I think in 2018 on the 17 World Cups, it was about a friendly match before that World Cup. There was a Tomari in the Canadian side, under 20s. They had the Rashfords and every other person.
Yes.
Then there was a Tomari in the Canadian team, and the Canadian players were scared. You know, it just takes motivation to play your best football. And Tomari said, "These are players I played with. We are 11, they are 11. They are not better than us. They only play for big clubs because scouts sent them there. If you put your heart out and play," that was Tomari talking to his teammates. If you put your heart out and play, I don't think they will get past you with multiple goals. And that match ended with a 1-1 draw between England and Canada that year. So it's about mentality, not just about
Also,
the coach.
I
these
understand
days.
motivation, no. But I find this part of motivation. It's like telling Enyimba to go to Real Madrid and we are motivated.
They've done before now against Inter Milan.
Let's
now.
talk
They've
about-
done against Inter Milan now. They
Come
still
on.
concede goals.
So I'm just saying that
2010, they went against Inter Milan.
you
Was
need
it a
to
friendly game or
what
so?
I'm saying in this game is that you have nothing to lose actually.
Sure.
If you sit back there, you are still going to lose. Why not try and attack? If you lose, you lose. If you draw, at least you get a point.
I used to say it's not about attacking when you don't have creative midfielders. Defend from midfield.
But
Don't allow them
but
But
to
don't
Dominic-
forget they have
Dominic
dominant.
Szoboszlai.
Yeah.
That
they
match
have-
plays
they have-
for Liverpool. Guys, I'm going to be going back to YouTube now. Mark Tipi is saying that he speak from that group now is Germany and Switzerland. I think we're going to be agreeing with you. Don't forget, guys, you can now open the phone lines and call us on 0706 048 5853. 0706 048 5853. Call us now and tell us what you think about the ongoing games that are taking place tonight and what you think about the Europe tournament so far. Now we're going to go into some little news now in this tournament. France is very uncertain that Mbappe will be playing against Holland because the mask they're trying to make for him is not ready yet, and they don't want to risk him with that broken nose and that. So do you think that without France, Godwin, without Mbappe, what's the chance of France against Holland?
They have a lot of chances. Look at that team, France. They are one of the most complete teams in this tournament. All from their goalkeeper to the striker, they have stars everywhere. Even without Mbappe, they will still do well. If you remove Mbappe, you just move in. I think it's even
You
better.
move another come in and do a
You
job.
can even move Turan. Turan
Yeah.
can play as striker. So I think he will still play. They will find a way and make that mass assembly. They won't miss because
They are saying they don't want to rush him because it's a very, very, very critical.
Let's wait till Friday. Today's still
I know,
Wednesday. We
yeah.
have games to play
Yeah.
tomorrow. But see, for me, I don't see why the hype over Mbappe is. In the 2018
I
World
don't
Cup,
understand.
the
I
hype,
don't
the
understand
hype.
also
Like,
sometimes.
In the 2018 World Cups, we had a striker on the pitch that didn't play 2 shots on target.
Uh-huh.
And yet Mbappe was scoring all the goals because people were creating chances for him. Strikers were creating chances for him. If you see the playing style of Marcus Thuram for Inter Milan, Lautaro Martinez was creating chances for him.
Okay.
And Lautaro Martinez was also getting on the score sheet.
Sure.
Why not give him a chance as a striker? There are other wingers in the team.
I agree with you, but don't say that what is the hype about Mbappe. Mbappe will always have hype. One of the best players in the
now,
world.
I'm talking about the hype in terms of if he doesn't start, they might lose. N'Golo Kante did not start and they were winning games. Now he started this time around, and you know, like there was a tweet I saw the other day, and I said this guy is just a player you should have in your team. That the earth is completed with water, 70% water, and the rest is N'Golo Kante. Now, after some time, he still continued with that performance. if you put another player on that flank, you will still get results. As far as you have the chances are not coming from the attack, the chances are coming from the midfield. As long as you have midfielders that will create chances,
And remember,
and then N'Golo Kante that will continue to cover
Iman
the
replied
defenders.
from YouTube. Iman said Mbappe is worth every hype. More than is worth every hype and even more. The guy is good. He's very, very good.
Mbappe have not
Yeah.
scored a single goal when in Euros before. He have not scored a single goal in Euros before. So he's trying to score a goal. That's why he keeps saying whatever he does a press conference before a tournament, he say that Euros is better or is tougher than the World Cup because he has not scored a single goal. So I think he will still play. Friday is still far.
Okay, guys. Basically, the major news that happened yesterday in the world of football was now the English Premier League fixtures has been announced, and on the 16th of August it will kick off. And Friday night football, Manchester United will be hosting Fulham at Old Trafford. Saturday you have Ipswich Town hosting Liverpool. Arsenal will be hosting Wolverhampton Wanderers. Everton will be hosting Brighton and Hove Albion. Newcastle United taking on Southampton, and Nottingham Forest will be hosting AFC Bournemouth. West Ham will be hosting Aston Villa, and on Sunday, which is Super Sunday, Brentford will be hosting Crystal Palace, and Chelsea will be hosting Manchester City. And on Monday Night Football, Leicester City will be hosting Tottenham now. And also, looking at those fixtures now, I think it's a very, very, very amazing opening weekend for the English Premier League.
Well, somebody said the other day, and I want to quote him now. Chelsea now, so now want to start this season. I don't know why I'm against Chelsea fans now, but East London till I die against Aston Villa is going to be bloody. It's going to be very, very tough because we're going to see the best players for West Ham. We've not started negotiating with players to come down yet, but we're going to see the best players for West Ham come into that team and play against Aston Villa because they want to set up a team. They're looking to buy players. They want to start from there to test who is going to be in their starting lineup when they go to the Champions League. And it's going to be tough experimenting for the first 3 weeks of the league. So I think, for me, you have to give it to West Ham for that game. But Chelsea and Man City, I don't know what to call it this time around, because if you look at Man City game, Man Cities have always known how to handle Chelsea so far. So I think you would have to say, against Chelsea and Man City, Chelsea will come up short on that game.
I don't think you can call it that, because if you look at, given also the fact that obviously I'm a Man City fan in this one, I think Chelsea have done a lot to get themselves to the position where they can compete, but it's now going to come down to a certain Enzo Maresca, how he is able to galvanize the team over the preseason, what style of formation he wants to play, how the players assimilate to his style of football, and how they can then take that and translate it onto the pitch. Because let's not forget, he's coming into this new role, having the players with him. If he comes into that match and wants to start from the jump to implement his style of play, they are going to struggle, but they are not going to lose that match for want of quality in the side. They are probably going to maybe lose that match for want of being able to implement what he wants them to implement, the play style, the pattern, and how the players put themselves out there on the pitch.
You know
So
that the
for
problem
me,
is that because of this tournament that is ongoing now, they will have little time to train. So
That's
probably
it.
the first, Manchester City, they already know their style of play.
Sure,
So players can just come rest for 1 week, train for 1 week, and they start up. But Maresca have a lot in his hand. He has to. There's practically no preseason. He has to do preseason with his under 21s and other players that did not actually go for the Euro. So I think it's going to be tough for him. For me, I think Manchester City will win that game. It's very easy for them. I think so. But let's talk about other games. Ipswich will play Liverpool in the first game. They are the only promotion people that are promoted in Premier League that is going to be playing in Liverpool. That means new promoted side plus a new coach.
Yeah.
So how do you see that game? Do you think that they can surprise Liverpool?
For me, I don't see them getting anything out of that game. Yes, they qualified to the Premier League, but let's not forget that Ancelotti is inheriting a side that already know how to play together.
Okay.
All
Just
he's
as
going,
one or two players,
all he's going to do is bring in 1 or 2 players, and then you wouldn't want to start from the jump and start moving players around, shifting egos, because that can drop the team spirit and go counterproductive to what you're trying to implement in the side. So for me, Ancelotti is going to come in work with the preset that is already there, and then maybe getting a couple of players in on the transfer window, get them to go through the preseason together with the team, and now just bring his own mentality, bring his own ideas, bring what you want to implement into the side, and hopefully that will now be able to be unveiled as we see them play more games.
So Arsenal versus Wolves. Do you think that Arsenal has what it takes to challenge for the title this next season?
Come on.
Come
on.
They go wait.
Don't make this personal. Don't make this
No,
personal.
I'm not saying it's personal, but they go wait. They will just have to wait because, come on, you see an Arsenal side who played good. See, I'm not saying they don't play good football. They play good football, but it's about mentality. For to be a champion, you have to have the mentality. And for me, I don't see Arsenal as a team that has a mentality. You saw in the last 2 editions of the international friendlies, they were aiming to win the Premier League. They were first on the table, and their players started pulling out of international friendly games.
Yeah,
that's the mentality issue. Man City will not do it. It will still.
Come on, Man City players also pulled out of international games.
Come on,
Haaland did that.
Yes, Haaland did that.
Haaland.
Let's not forget he did that. A couple of Foden did that as well. This other guy in the center have also did that as well. So I think that was a good move from them, choosing to pick fighting for the Premier League title over playing a friendly when they know they already hold down a starting spot on the national team.
Is moving away from the starting 11 or moving away from the what's called national team just to compete and yet lose the next game. So you ask yourself, what's the problem? It's a mentality thing for Arsenal. They don't have that lead. First, you always mention Saliba as the Rolls Royce at the back. You mentioned Thomas Partey and the rest of other players. Declan Rice is a born winner, is a proven winner. But if you look at his trajectory from West Ham, coming from the academies, playing under Mark Noble, having the mentality of I want to win. Not we are playing for a smaller team, but having that mentality of I want to win. That's why you always say West Ham finish among the top 8.
Okay, let's talk about West Ham.
I'm not talking about West Ham. I'm talking about the Arsenal team.
Okay.
So if they can have that mentality, perhaps bring in one more player that has the mentality of winning. Bring in one more player that has that mentality of winning.
Like for me, the way I look at it, if you look at the Arsenal side, if you are not going to get in a striker that is going to bring you 20-25 goals, then you just have to settle for second. You just have to settle for second because
if you bring in a striker, who
and
just
somebody has to move along and take one for the team. If you ask me,
they've made a bid for what's called Victor for about 75. They want to drop fee of 75 million pounds, but I don't think Napoli will go for it because you can't have a player bought for you for 90 million pounds and you want to sell for 75 million pounds. It's not possible. So I think they'll have to manage their way through that. But looking at the Arsenal setup, they need replacement everywhere.
Okay.
They need replacement. Thomas Partey is not available. You don't have a full house to replace him. I'm talking about a full house, a defensive full house to replace him. Declan Rice is not available. You don't have a full house as well. Someone who can go up and down to replace him. I would say the same with Saka.
So Arsenal has what it takes to challenge for the title, right?
If they could get 2 more players in.
Okay, let's talk about Manchester United. Manchester United will be playing the first game on Friday night. They are taking Fulham. We keep talking about Manchester United on this show.
You know, I think it's going to be a tough one because they are going to struggle. If you look at Fulham and the way they are set up, we don't know if Palhinha will still be in the side or if he would have moved on by then. But if he's going to be in the side, then you beg to wonder how Manchester United are going to come away with a win in that match. Obviously, knowing a lot of players have left the side, and right now it looks as if they are struggling to sign anybody into that center half. And of course, maybe Johnny Evans is still going to be around. But how do you start your season fielding a Licha Martinez in that defense and a Johnny Evans, or a Licha Martinez and a Victor Lindelof, when these are players that need to be moved on, in my opinion, and then you get credible alternatives into the side? Like, for example, if we are getting into the opening of the season and Manchester United have not signed at least 2 top-class centre halves, then everybody should just go and pack the bus and know that these guys are going to finish 8th this season, because there's no foundation with which to build a good team that is going to challenge for top 4, because that's Manchester United's hope right now. Top 4, hoping for a top 4. So they need to get in 2 center halves into that team to
Two
be able to
attackers.
con-
Aston Villa.
two center halves and one striker. They already have a Rasmus Højlund
when
up there
Ole Gunnar
in the
Solskjaer when
attack.
Ole Gunnar Solskjaer finished second in the table, how many center halves? It was the same Maguire, Jesse Lingard, and the rest of them people they called what was it
The
called?
same big part players, but then what are those
And he
big
finished
part
second.
players?
He went to
Those
how many
those same big
finals
part
did he go to?
players
He
have
went to 6
deteriorated
different
last
finals.
season. Those same big part players deteriorated further last season. Those same big part players went on a several cases of injuries last season.
I would say
So,
I don't want to be
unless
sentimental,
maybe
but
you are
this
looking
is
to
just pure sentiment.
you are
Let's
looking
make-
to
This
bring
is
on
just pure sentiment.
academy players,
Let's
young
make
boys,
more
16,
sentiments
17-year-olds to
again.
play in
Let's
that
make more
center half.
sentiments.
That's
No,
just
Then
pure
we
sentiment.
will not know
Okay,
what we're
guys,
looking at.
guys, let me play small sentiment again. West Ham versus Aston Villa. So I'm
Now,
so where do you think? Wait,
Mhm.
where do you think West Ham will finish this season? Next
On the
season?
table?
On the table, yeah. What do you think? Do you think they are going to top four? Are going to play European competition, or they are probably
If
not
he
going to
says
play
anything apart from top 8, I'll be angry.
See,
They are
my,
playing Aston Villa. in first.
my greatest manager, my manager, I would respect him any day, anytime, said something about going to Europe for 5 years in a row.
Okay.
And after 3 years in a row, they had to terminate his contract, or perhaps they didn't give him more contract
And
extension.
shamefully moved him
And
out of
he
the
moved.
club.
They didn't shamefully.
Yes, shamefully
Contract,
moved him out
when
of
they
the club.
negotiate contract and they didn't get, the two persons agreeing to one thing, they will say, okay, fine, no more contract. Abi, they did not shamefully. It was a contract negotiation that didn't go as
They
planned.
should be aspiring
No
for
be
top
shameful.
10 this
Now
season.
they
in
brought
the
in
Premier League.
a Julian Lopetegui, who is, we know, has been a smart, fantastic coach. You saw him at
Where?
Sevilla.
What's
You
his
saw him.
record at
Calm
at
down.
Real
No
Madrid?
be this thing. Calm down. He did good with Sevilla.
What's
and
his
some other
record
clubs.
at Wolves?
Wolf.
Yes.
No good there.
What's his record
Wolf,
at
Wolf
Wolves?
is just a second Portugal team. He was trying to speak language barrier held him
So
back.
What
where
was
would
his
they
record at
finish?
Sevilla?
Top 8
So
now.
top
Top
eight.
8.
Okay.
Definitely.
Yeah, I think let's talk about the final game.
Wishes
Leicester-
do come
Leicester
true.
versus Spurs.
Hopefully, maybe in his dreams.
Yeah, Leicester versus Spurs, because Spurs has potential to challenge for the league. Let's talk about Spurs, because do you think that they are going to challenge for this league, or would you think that last season they started off very well? I think in the first 5-6 games they were top 2.
First
Suddenly-
20 games, they were in the top 2. They were in the top
suddenly
3
they fell off.
conversation.
So do you think
Yeah.
that they have what it takes now to challenge for the title?
They will
this season?
see, as long as I'm
as far as
concerned,
I'm concerned, okay, go ahead.
as long as I'm concerned, they will never,
God bless.
they will never be in that contention. It's not about sentimental bias now.
You don't trust
I trust him to do a good job. Take them to the Champions League.
Okay.
I trusted Pochettino to take them to the final Champions League, and they went to the Champions League finals. I trust Andy to take them to the Champions League, maintain the top 4 position, but not win the trophy. Maybe at the break some courses of winning FA Cups and Carabao Cups,
Something
maybe
like that.
something like that. But not the Premier League.
Okay.
The Premier League needs big investment, and Daniel Levy is not ready to
He's
pull
not
that
ready to
form.
make that investment.
Daniel.
Can't also
Daniel,
blame,
Daniel.
you can't also blame him looking at how much the club has invested in the new stadium and other things as well. So you can't blame him. But if they get a lot of dead weight off their books, if they are able to sell off a couple of players and raise at least 200 million to go into the transfer market, they can get something that will help them finish in the top 4.
Okay, finally, let's talk about the 3 teams that came up that won promotion in this Premier League. Do you think 3 of them, who do you think that will stay, and who do you think that will go down
If
again?
3 of them will stay, Southampton will go back.
3 of them will stay.
No, 2 of them
Okay,
will
will
stay.
stay,
Southampton will go back.
Okay.
For me, I think if you look at the guys that came up, I'm looking at Leicester City and Southampton to stay. And then I can't really vouch for Ipswich right now, but Leicester City, Southampton, I'm looking at both of them to stay. It will now remain to be seen how it's going to work out for Southampton, but I feel the strongest of the 3 of them coming into the Premier League this season is Leicester City, and they should be staying up in the Premier League.
Okay guys, this is how we are going to end this show. Thank you for joining us, all our fans from YouTube and from Facebook. We saw your comments, we read all your comments, and this is how we end Vote Sports today, and we'll see you guys tomorrow. We'll talk about today's game. After today's, we are going to be previewing to today's game tomorrow. I'll see you guys tomorrow. My name is Godwin, and thank you guys, Nonso and John. I'll see you guys tomorrow.